I ask for the truth on behalf of Jessie May concerning relationship issues. Did she make the right decision by leaving him? I ask for guidance and insight in the name of truth, right conduct, peace, love and non-violence. Blessed be to the truth always. And we've got the deck there for you, Jessie. Where the deck splits is where it's thought to be at its most strongest energetic point, as you would say. So let's just place things to the side here, and I'll deal out 3 cards. The first card vibrates with the recent past, the second card vibrates with the present, and then the third vibration is with the immediate future. I usually say that the past is the recent past in the sense of about 3 or 4 weeks or so between now and then, where the immediate future is the same thing but the other way around, about 3 or 4 weeks or so between now and 3 or 4 weeks or so ahead. And of course you're around this sort of 3 day behind, 3 days ahead sort of point here, aren't you? When you asked about did you make the right decision leaving him, we've got a Prime Minister called Theresa May, and she doesn't know whether she can leave the European Union or not, although 17.4 million people told her to do it. And I thought, well, I'll try not to get confused. You're Jessie and she's Theresa. But I suppose it's always, laughing and joking apart though, it's always difficult. We make a decision. Was it a snap decision? Was it a whimsical thing? Was it a quick off the cuff thing that we regret later? What's going on here? What was going on though over the recent few weeks or so that may have led to this situation that you find yourself in now? What's brought you to this point? Well, we'll see what that's all about in the first card here. We'll flip it nice and slowly, not to disturb its energy, and then we'll just see what this is all about. You've got the energy of the satyr. The satyr is the mythical creature, the half man, half goat that represents revelry and indulgence. The word Satan derives from the satyr. That's where the word Satan comes from. The devil, often the devil within, isn't he? The 666 is the human number. That's the devil within, the most negative side of oneself. In this particular case though, I'm sort of sensing here as though somebody liked to enjoy themselves a bit too much. Maybe going out for drinks or whatever it was, and overindulging in party time. Life was a party, and when it was to sort of time to sit down and be serious about things, oh, let's just go out for another drink, or go out to the restaurant for another meal, or let's go and visit you know and have a knees up there, and we'll talk about that later. And I get that sort of sense as though the overindulgence there, maybe it's that's caused it. Maybe somebody's drinking too much, taking, hopefully not to anything harder such as drugs or anything, but certainly it could even be eating, comfort eating maybe, or whatever. I don't know what it is, but I'm just getting this, somebody isn't taking it's all singing and dancing, eat, drink and be merry, and that's what it's been over the past month or so, and this probably may have maybe what led you to walk out on it. Maybe. And maybe the drink came before you, or whatever, or even other friends came before you, and maybe he was mentioning his ex a bit too much. Maybe, well, at least she did this, she did that, or whatever. I'll go back to her then if that's how you feel. You know, but I'm me, I'm afraid, and you can't. I'm me, and I can't be any meer. if you get what I mean. But what's happening now? Where's this led? Where's this resulted? I mean, obviously you indicate that you're in a bad place or a state of confusion anyway. But what the hand of fate there, of course, forces beyond your control are intervening right now. Maybe, I don't know what this is about, but certainly just things going on around you. I always tend to call that the interfering hand. That's what I call it. Although in a general sort of sense, it's just fate doing its stuff, and you are having to sort of experience it. You're an experiencer of the experience, if you get what I mean. And a bit like an observer more than anything. And that's like you feel you're even an observer in this situation, and did I do the right thing on walking out what I observed? I didn't like what I saw, I didn't like what I felt from it, and I just felt it was best to literally switch over to the other channel and watch something else, or whatever, from a metaphorical point of view, to walk out or switch off. And it's easy to do that. Problems exist, of course, to be solved. If you run away from a problem, it'll still be there when you come back again. But fate has sort of had a hand here, literally. The hand of fate has had some sort of dealing there. But of course, whatever it was that's interfering right now, as it says, forces beyond your control intervene. Something else going on either around you externally or whatever, or something going on in his life that's stopping you from doing something in your life or the life you want with him. And it could even be fate intervening in your life and stopping you both doing it. Either way, it's something on somebody's side intervening. It could be both, but I get a sense it's on one side or the other. I'm sensing it's his side, something going on his side, and it's to do with this revelry, this indulgence, this not taking life seriously, and something's he's got in the way, either getting in either forces beyond your control, such as the authorities getting involved or something, and you've got no control over that, have you? You can only just wait to see what the judgment is or whatever. I don't think it's that serious though, hopefully it isn't anyway. But let's just see what the immediate future holds, in the sense of potentially around the corner. If it doesn't have to be true, of course, because if negative, it can actually be a positive thing, strangely enough, because, well, why is that? Well, because forewarned is forearmed, isn't it? Forewarned is forearmed. Is it a warning, or is it merely, of course, complacency? If it's something positive, yes, it can be something to hope for, but of course complacency can set in, and you have to be aware of that. It's an elemental energy, the energy of the element of fire, just indicating that reckless actions lead to conflict, which they do, don't they? Really. In that regard, I always tend to focus on the zodiac symbols there, that maybe they have something to do with it. I don't know, or will have something to do with it. The energy of Aries, Leo and Sagittarius, the magic, and the Leo is to control, trying to control in an attempt to try and bring things under control. Maybe somebody will end up doing something silly. Silly is an understatement, really, because somebody just might end up doing something rather stupid, and that's a warning, isn't it? Because it's sort of saying, be careful what you do between now and this time next month. Just be careful that you don't do anything stupid. Well, what's that stupid thing? Is it to walk out and not go back? when you could have tried again? Or is it the stupid thing in going back anyway, thinking you did the wrong thing, and that the pattern will repeat itself? Forces beyond their control intervene right now. They're literally beyond your control. You've got no control over it. But by trying to gain control over something you've got no power over, that you'll lead to do something stupid in desperation to try and bring things under control. And what will you do to try and bring it under control? To try and bring your own cravings for him or whatever, regardless of what happened, regardless of knowing what it was. I sometimes think you have to go with what you feel. You sometimes are the best psychic to go with your intuition, really, really. If it doesn't feel right, then maybe it isn't. If it is wrong and you feel it's right, or if it's right and you feel it's wrong, then you go with what you feel. You can always change it later, but you can't reverse something. If you do something stupid and it backfires on you, then you're stuck with it for either a long time or forevermore. And maybe, well, I can't marry you if you're going to be like this, or I can't live the rest of my life with you if you're going to be like this. But let's get married, and maybe that will change things. Once we're married, things will settle down, and people will realise that it's a serious thing, and who knows, that the pattern just won't continue, and it was a foolish act. I'm sort of sensing here that maybe you did do the right thing, but there is the risk that you will do the wrong thing, regardless of what I say, regardless of what Spirit says. But at the end of the day, I can't say anything that will make you change your spiritual development or interfere with your spiritual development. If it is part of your spiritual development to learn from reckless acts, then that is sadly, which maybe learning the hard way is going to be the best way to learn, but either way, just be careful out there. That's the only thing I can say, is be careful out there. That's the only advice that can be given the fact that what's happening now, things are interfering, forces beyond your control, things getting in the way, and it's that, why should I bother when that's happening, or this is happening, and whatever, and what is it worth? But maybe it's worth trying again. Oh, how silly of me to try again when, or as I've said before, have you done the wrong thing by not solving the problem, by running away from it and not solving it? Is the problem there to be solved, or do you solve the problem by not so much running away from it, but by doing something about it? But if you do something about it, of course, then you know full well that may just be one action too many. That will lead to conflict. In order to try and bring it under control, it will get out of control. And that is the fear, isn't it? Go well and stay well. The decision is yours. But for now we cast a shadow. For these cards have spoken.